Hey, how's it going, folks? Tactard Ted, 24 of June 2022. So, what am I going to be bugging you folks with today? Well, I'm going to be bugging you because we don't seem to adapt and overcome anymore. We don't seem to be able to let go of the old ways. And this is directly pointed at you liberal folks. And some of you conservatards, because some of you folks just don't get it. We tend to rest on the laurels of many countries. We go on about the greatness and the wisdom that has come out of Europe. Those people slaughtered each other for centuries. I mean centuries. And they get irritated. And yes, they're countries. Oh yes, they're countries. A lot of those countries, we have states that are larger than them. You need to let that get into your gray matter. You need to be able to understand that. Europe is not bigger than the United States. Most European countries are not a whole lot bigger than states. Some of them are smaller than some of the states we have. The fact that we look to these people with awe and reverence, we're giving them a pass. These people slaughter each other, and they have been for years. We went 2 world wars that we've gotten involved with. We have been involved in the exact same number of European wars that we have had numbers of wars that actually more European wars if you get back to it. If you go to the breakup of the Balkans, we were involved there. We only had 2 military confrontations in this country where we slaughtered our own. One was the Revolution. The second one was the American Civil War. But yet we seem to be drug in to European fights left and right. Now, why is that, folks? Why is that? Why did we get involved in World War I? Well, Dave, we were attacked. They sunk the Lusitania. Well, yes, they did. Well, why did we get involved in World War II? Well, we did that because Hitler declared war on us right after Japan bombed us. Well, that's right again. Why did we get involved in Bosnia? Why did we bomb Serbia? Why is it that every little time someone breaks wind in Europe, we feel that we have to be involved? It's a great question, folks. Why do we have to be involved? We don't have problems in this country. We don't have a suicide rate. We don't have an opioid epidemic. We don't have a problem with porous borders that allow drug cartels and everybody who wants a better life to come rolling in and just ignore our laws. We don't have those sort of problems at all, do we? But no, we have to get involved in bombing Serbia. We have to get involved in propping up a rotten dictatorship well, not even really a dictatorship. It's just a false government. You got a government in Ukraine that has a puppet installed. He may have been elected, but the people under him are telling him what to do. The nationalist element pulls his strings, and it made it pretty apparent to Zelensky that if he doesn't toe the line, bad things will happen to him. But yet we have to be involved. Oh yes, we have to be involved. Absolutely, we have to be involved. Why do we have to be involved? No one can really tell you. They will go back to the days when William Jefferson Clinton signed a few agreements to get everybody's attention off the fact that he was banging interns in the White House. You know, he didn't want people to know that. So, hey, look over here. We're going to cruise missile this place. We're going to bomb that place. Totally nothing going on. There's no dress with a bunch of semen stains. There's nothing like that going on here. Yet we always have to be involved over there. There always has to be something going on. And Europe is not this bright, shining beacon. You know, I like one English comedian, Eddie Izzard, used to say, oh, I'm from Europe, where the history is. Well, yes, absolutely, there's history there. And I think that's one of the problems. We look to Europe as some sort of role model, and it's not. We should be our own role model. We left Europe. We left Europe and we came to this country to start something new because we didn't want to be beholden to kings. We wanted the ability to go out and make the most of our lives. We didn't want to have to be stuck in a village, die in the village you were born in serfdom to somebody else who had all the money, somebody else, a little bit of class warfare there, absolutely, because you were either on the very top or you were on the very bottom. There was no middle class. There was no in between. And we've came to this country. We've done well for ourselves. We've made a really, really cool place to live, but no empire lasts forever. And one of the things that is going to bring us down is this fact that we have to have all these arms, all these fingers in different places. We're like an octopus, and we have to put our tentacles here. We have to put our tentacles there. We can't not touch anything. Now, a lot of this attitude was born because of the post-World War II environment. We'd already got dragged into the First World War. We got dragged in, although I don't know how much we were dragged in, after the Japanese attacked, which we were irritating the Japanese. We were sanctioning the Japanese. Yeah. Sanctioning. Oh, sanctions, embargoes, those never caused wars. Yeah, you might want to look at what led the Japanese to bomb Pearl Harbor. Now, I'm not saying the Japanese were in the right by any stretch of the imagination. But what I'm saying is actions have consequences. And we don't seem to deal with actions have consequences anymore. A prime example is my NATO EU idiot of the week, Lithuania. Yes, Lithuania. Why would Lithuania be my idiot country of the week? Well, it's real simple. Lithuania, a former Soviet state, one of those Baltic countries that was absorbed by the Soviet Union, gained its independence in 1991. Still dependent on Russian gas, still on Russia's electric grid. Think about that, folks. Lithuania has been free of the Soviet Union over 31 years coming. Over 30 years, baby. 30 years. We're free of the Soviets. We're free of the communists. We're free of all that crap. Yay, we're free. You couldn't free yourselves from the electric grid. You couldn't think, hey, we might want to build our own power plant. We might want to find a way not to be dependent on Russian gas. We might want to be self-sufficient. Self-sufficiency, what an interesting concept. But no, they decided, and they'd never been keen on Russia. They always have nasty, mean things to say to Russia. But can't break off the Russian tit. Got to get their oil from Russia. Got to get their electricity from Russia. Got to get this from Russia. And then, like that little brother who you're saying, hey, go over and poke the bear, baby. That bear gets pissed, I'll have your back. NATO and EU membership has emboldened these people to say, hey, look, we're not going to let you ship your shit from Russia to Kaliningrad, aka Russia, because it is part of Russia. We went through this the other day. It's like Alaska. It's not attached to the rest of the country. You have to go through another country to get there. And Lithuania says, hey, you know what? You can only ship what we say you can to yourself through our country. Because you're not allowed to have this, this, and this. So it doesn't matter if it originated from you, we're interpreting that you can't have it. Which is not how sanctions work, folks. Not how sanctions work at all. But Lithuania decided that it was going to show big bad Vladimir Putin in Russia that you can't pick on the little guy. Which was a great idea, considering that Russia has their finger on your electric switch. They have it on your heat, your natural gas, what you use to cook with, what you use to heat your home. Absolutely a wonderful idea, folks. Absolutely, country wisdom, age-old wisdom. You do not bite the hand that feeds you. You do not bite the hand that feeds you. It's probably not in your best interest to piss off who's providing your electric. It's probably not in your best interest to piss off the people who are providing your gas. It's probably in your best interest that once you become an independent and sovereign nation, that you look to your own nation, that you not only secure your borders, you secure your energy. You make your own electric plants. You come up with your own ways of heating your country that work for you. That you come up and you look to the general welfare of your people. Let me tell you what, looking to the general welfare is helping energy security. That's something we don't get in this country because we have a president who, when gas prices are rising, he takes more fuel out of the supply chain. He takes available gasoline and oil and says, oh, we're not going to allow that sold. Well, that really is going to have a great impact on pricing. That's really going to make those prices get down to reasonable. That's really going to be able to make me afford to take that trip to Disney driving or a lot of this other stuff that we as Americans are used to doing. But Lithuania had no fear. Oh no, because they got NATO and the EU to save them. Yes, my big brothers, they will save me. I can go over and stomp your toe and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Well, hang on a second there, cowboy. Not sure how you're going to light your country. Not sure how you're going to keep warm. Not sure how you're going to cook your dinner. But go right ahead and run your damn mouth because you are an idiot. And therefore, folks, I'd like to say these people in Europe are not better than us. They're not brighter than us. And we shouldn't be looking at them with awe and reverence. They do not deserve our help. Especially not Ukraine. That's my personal opinion. I know that you folks aren't going to like hearing it, but I got a right to say it. And you might wish that I shut up, but you don't have the right to make me shut up. So just think about that, folks. Consequences have actions, not just in real life, not just in your personal life, but internationally. And I think there are a few countries, if they don't back the fuck off, if they don't pull their head out of their collective asses, are going to find out real quick that their actions are going to bring woe and misery to them. And I don't get me wrong. I have Russia ought to do that. In fact, you know, I'll be quite honest. If I was Vladimir Putin, I wouldn't touch a switch till November. Wait for winter to come in good and solid. Because with being an idiot, you might dodge a bullet this time. Being an idiot, you won't prepare for when you do get the bullet. So if Russia doesn't turn the gas off immediately, if they don't turn the electric off immediately, and they let Lithuania sit back and be fat and happy and think they got one over, they're not going to take precautions. They're not going to take steps. They're not going to ensure that what they dodged doesn't come back to bite them in the ass. And that way, when it's November and it's 20 degrees outside and cold and windy and the lights go out, the heat go out, and have a very nice day, because trying to fix that problem now in winter, not something I want to do. You know, no matter how much it sucks to fork on your utilities in summer, it sucks a lot worse when you got a foot of snow on the ground. So anyhow, folks, just, you know, ask yourself, why do you idolize Europe? Why do you think we need to be involved in Europe? Why do we need to be involved everywhere? I think we finally understand now that we probably shouldn't be playing in the sandbox. We shouldn't be over in places where they wear dresses and bad beards and burqas rule. We probably need to leave that alone. And there's no reason for us to be over there and wasting the youth of our country fighting in those places for no real clear defined goal. And there is, I would say there's a clear defined goal with Russia. We just don't like Russia. We don't want Russia to exist. We want Russia to go back to being weak and incompetent. We would love to have Boris Yeltsin back and install him and run over his toes daily. But that's not going to happen, folks. We need to evolve. That I love that, the theory of relativity, or not relativity, the evolution, survival of the fittest. We understand that the weakest will always be eaten, the weakest perishes, except internationally, where we take the weakest and we prop them up. We're propping up Ukraine. Ukraine doesn't deserve to move forward. They're not able to compete. They're not able to survive in the real world. How come survival of the fittest is great for the animal kingdom? We'll get your photographer out there, and he'll show a wolf come up and devour a bunny and eat all of its little ones and all that. And we can't interfere because that is natural selection. That is the way this works. But when it comes to a dumpster fire like Ukraine, we have to save it. We have to save it. We have to protect that country. It's not protecting the people. No, that's exactly opposite of what we're doing, because we're arming Ukrainians who don't have a chance to win a war. We're arming them to go out and get killed by Russians. That's what we're doing. In fact, we're speeding up the demise of the people we're claiming to save. It's just ridiculous. That's why I really have to wonder what kind of idiots we have running our government when we want to save Ukraine, but we'll waste every Ukrainian life to do it. There will be peace in Ukraine. There just won't be any Ukrainians to enjoy it. Or there probably won't be any Ukrainian landmass. But that's another story, folks. Anyhow, now that I've totally discouraged you and have you question all your thoughts about Europe, have a nice day. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I didn't even have time to get into the cauldrons and how prisoners and it's starting to fall apart in Donbass. Didn't have a chance for that. And you're not going to see it on your evening news, but guess what? I will get all that and try to get it to you on Monday, maybe Saturday or Sunday if we have a massive collapse or something. Anyhow, folks, you take care. Bye.